Jamie Coutts, welcome back, my friend.
G'day, Raoul. Nice to be back again, mate.
Yeah, look, you and I haven't caught up properly. We've been catching over of Slack, but not have a proper conversation. So it's always good for people to listen into what you're thinking, what you've been writing about, where your head's at. So where do you want to start? I think just top level, everybody always wants reassurances. Is it over yet? Are we all doomed? What's going to happen? Have I got the wrong tokens? Just there's so much fear in the space, and there's a lot of hand holding needs to be done. So I guess we start at top level of like, where the hell are we?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about like market psychology. I think every cycle is different but the same, and it just feels like the scar tissue from the last cycle, which we all felt, is manifesting in a lot of the commentary that's coming through at the moment. Right?
Yeah, agree.
Now, it's a 4-year cycle. This is when it has to end. Therefore, it will. Last cycle, it was like to the moon forever because no one is keeping an eye on, or no one really, well, there were people such as yourself who were really getting a good handle on it. And it was really in early.
No, even I failed in the last cycle because I thought there was another leg to go. So,
yeah. So then everyone's sort of, I guess, truncated this cycle, and for good reason. It's not without, that there are frameworks out there that are credible, that should say that, this is, a time when things start to get, peakish. But we haven't had the typical business cycle, and not many people do that business cycle analysis that you and Julian do. So that framework that underpins everything at Real Vision and GMI is sorely missed elsewhere. But it just feels that, it's a mechanical response to like the market, that this is now when we should be peaking. And it's been, interesting to see the commentary flying on Twitter and everyone else, and even within our membership here about, is the top in. So, I'm always fascinated by market psychology and how it manifests in the market. I also think what's quite interesting is that everyone is very attuned to the liquidity cycle aspect now, and how that is going to change the outcomes in the future, as much as we think that, we've still got more to go. And all those things are sort of, they're the unknowns, but the framework that, we have here is very, I think, very clear that we have got more to go. I've got we've talked about like my Bitcoin cycle risk framework and the topping indicators that I've been building. I mean, they're not screaming at me euphoria. There is definitely, and I highlighted this in that last report, Raoul, trend exhaustion signals in the Bitcoin chart, and fundamental deterioration as well. But I think that's a function more of the transition into higher beta crypto through ETH. Primarily,
so the falling of Bitcoin dominance, which is typical of this point in the cycle anyway, right?
Yes, yeah, and that transition really started, second quarter, but it was very clear by sort of July, when I was on paternity leave, that transition had occurred, because I looked at the on-chain data on Bitcoin, the ETF flows between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and obviously the price action, and it very much lines up with that transition period in the crypto market from Bitcoin dominance to high quality alts, not, a dash for trash sort of market that we saw in 2021 when people were getting stimulus checks, but a high quality alt season run at the moment. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So you obviously like this video enough that you've got to the end. That's quite a big task. But listen, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and also check out what video's next, because I think you'll love it. But if you want even more, and when I'm talking more, I'm talking about member-generated ideas, incredible alpha, research, everything there to help you in your journey, just head to realvision.com/join for the best financial intelligence out there and the pure alpha that's within the platform.